Squad versus Inhumans. The undefeated Inhumans have been getting all kinds of talk from Megalo Squad about the squad that they have put together after trading away EJ Cool and adding an extra member to their main roster, which gives them a little bit more leeway with that sub role. Kernernu's going to be the first ban, not going to put that in the hands of Dark Mantle. Sasano going to be banned, not going to put that in the jungle of Megalo Squad. Pretty standard bands. Wondering if we're going to see some personal shots at a player, possibly going to take something away from Cedon, maybe Leo Wheelix, or maybe take another Hunter away from Dark Mantle, whatever it may be. Megalo's squad definitely thinking through what they want to do to beat this Inhumans teams, but it's going to be Bologna. Inimical not going to be able to get his hands on that. However, the Sun Wukong is going to be left open for him if they don't take it away from him first. Megalo squad needs to be careful what they want to put into Inimical's hands, but big game coming up. Both of these squads really want to get a couple of wins here and get this set going their way. I'm excited to cast it. I've been talking to these players. These players have really good competition going on, but they have a lot of fire in their hearts, and they want to win. Soul going to be hovered on. Almost definitely going to be locked in to get the most prominent mid laner we've seen so far, maybe Thoth, into the hands of their mid laner. Begs a response out of Inhumans. They could early pick up an Odin. I know Cedon likes it, and I also know Inimical will play it. It's going to be Sun Wukong and Thoth. Potty Racer has had a bit of an absence away from his team. I had to sub for them for one game, but Potty Racer is back and in that mid lane. That signature Thoth going into his hands. It wasn't banned away, which could be a big mistake, and Inimical is able to get his Sun Wukong. Sylvanas hovered on. Opwash hovered on. I guarantee you that Opwash wants a troll. They're not going to try and throw the game. Nemesis instead going to be changed over, and I think those two characters work pretty well together. Nemesis locked in to see if they can't try and get a little less safe in what he does, and of course God's Hitman, whatever support he tries to use, he's definitely one of the better ones, and if you can get him down, that's a big win for Megalo Squad. I think the draft they need to put together is one to try and take out an individual player of Inhumans and try to make them think a little bit more how they're going to orchestrate their team fights, get them out of rhythm. Megalo Squad needs to disrupt what they have going on, and Inhumans are such a strong unit. Odin going to be locked in. All of them, Sylvanas and Nemesis both get caught in that cage. If Soul doesn't have that disapparate online, she definitely gets caught in that as well. So I think that Odin pick's pretty strong. Definitely, I can almost guarantee that's going in the hands of Cedon in the jungle, and we'll probably be seeing a Hunter and a Guardian pickup by them. I don't see Odin going into the hands of God's Hitman, but it could be a Wheelix going to be banned out the counter to Odin. Not going to let Megalo Squad get that one, but even then, with that Nemesis locked in, I don't see why they needed to ban the Awilix. Where could you put it that's comfortable? If they pick up that Awilix, they definitely have to pick up a Hunter, which means that's going to put an Awilix in the solo lane. So I don't think they quite saw that one. I don't think they quite thought that one through, just going a little too fast in these ban phases. And I like the ban of Ho Yi. Get that out of Dark Mantle's hands. He has plenty of gods in his god pool, and you want to keep the prominent ones of the meta out of his hands. Such a strong player in his own rights. I'm really excited to see this game, thinking about what their next ban is going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to pick off another Hunter and make that dual lane rely more on skill, more so than it is anything else, but we will definitely see. Actually going to opt for a Medusa ban. That's pretty much what I would have predicted. You don't want that dual lane to be any more strong than you need it to be. You have Sun Wukong in Inimical's hands. You have Thoth in Potty Racer's hands. You have an Odin in Cedon's hands. You have characters that these guys are super comfortable with, so you don't mind taking things out of the hands of Dark Mantle if it means making sure that dual lane goes more in his hands. Anyways, the Ho Yi and Medusa, the Kernernu's all going to be banned away. The last ban out of Megalo Squad was going to be the Ganesha. Not going to let God's Hitman get that. They definitely know that Odin's going to be going into the jungle. So Rama going to be locked in. Dark Mantle, pretty notorious for having a really solid Rama. Apollo hovered on for their Hunter. A couple of auto attack based gods, and that means this is going to be a very particular dual lane. I don't think we've seen a Rama Apollo dual lane that's been very prominent. So two talented Hunters are going to go at it in this dual lane with a lot of raw skill and raw aiming having to go out. We're going to see what this last pick is here from Megalo Squad to round it out. But Soul, Sylvanas, Nemesis, Apollo, all characters you don't want to see get ahead. And I like the team fight potential between Sylvanas and pretty much every character. I think the Soul is going to tie it all together. If that mid laner doesn't put this together and that mid laner falls off, it's going to be so hard for the Nemesis to get enough setup or have enough reason or kill potential in any lane at any given time. But their Soul laner is what they're thinking about picking here. And I'm not sure what your answer is to Inimical's Sun Wukong, and Ravana is actually going to be the answer. That's going to be the answer. I like Ravana a whole lot. They could have put that in the jungle, but they're going to instead put that in the solo lane. A tanky character, so much dive potential, and a lot of crowd control, as well as plenty of burst damage. His early clear is pretty decent. His late game is pretty okay. He can be up in everybody's face. So Ravana, not a bad choice. And God's Hitman loves his Gev, and I don't think he's going to be considering anybody else here. Could go for the Fafnir, but it's gonna be Gev. So that's it for the picks and bans. The team fight out of Inhumans is crazy between Gev, Odin, Thoth, all these ultimates that can collide together and absolutely delete Megalo Squad if they make one wrong move. But the late game out of Megalo Squad, I do like Rama's late game, but late game, you get a Soul that can shred towers and objectives. You got an Apollo that can absolutely 100-0 everybody. Ravana is going to be up in everybody's face. He's going to be hard to kill. A Nemesis that can take 40% of somebody's health and all of their protections in an instant. If you let Megalo Squad get too far ahead, you are going to lose team fights only because of what that Nemesis can bring and how often that ultimate can be used to turn a fight towards their favor. So this is definitely a pretty hype game. I'm all by myself, but I could still talk a little bit. Once I run out of stuff to talk about, I'll probably end stream and restart stream once the actual game starts. But Odin on Sidon's pretty prominent. I do like the Odin, however, that Gev pick is going to be really, really strong. I think even if God's Hitman does get caught out a little more often than he wants to, after that Nemesis ults him, he could put that shield on himself and start rolling away and try to get himself out of a sticky situation if it does come around. So look at God's Hitman with some clutch shields to try and bail himself out as well as teammates out, but man, Potty Racer, Sidon, that synergy there, Thoth, Odin, I just can't wait until those level 5s start popping up and we start seeing some big plays coming out of them. But Megalo Squad, on the other hand, you have Sylvanas, and Sylvanas providing so much sustain for their team. There's no anti-heal in their kits except for that Odin, which means that McGurns needs to be very careful about that cage, but outside of that cage, outside of team fights, that heal is going to come in so strong. There's not one character on the side of Inhumans that has any other sustain except for Inimical, but he has to use his ultimate for that, so I really do like the sustained damage combo coming out of Megalo Squad here to try and see if they can't catch Inhumans off guard. And if these team fights last longer than Inhumans can burst them down, I like the sustain on the side of Megalo Squad to give them the opportunity to bounce back for a secondary team fight or a counter initiation to give them more of an advantage coming into these mid-game team fights as well as these early-game team fights. But you got to be careful with Apollo and Nemesis. If either of them start getting down, if either of them start getting picked off too often by Sidon with that Odin, a Bird Bomb could easily take a Nemesis and an Apollo out of fight, so they need to be very careful about their positioning, and Nemesis needs to make sure that the second dash almost always needs to be used to avoid a Bird Bomb or to put herself out of a range of one. I'm excited. I think Desnor and Craftsor are both going to have pretty hard times in their lanes, and it's going to be interesting how they're going to pull this out, but maybe I'm just thinking Inhumans are going to win, but I really like both drafts. I think both of these are very professional and well thought out drafts. Megalo Squad wants to win, and so does Inhumans, and they're both hyping it up. There's not one game they're not playing with the pedal to the metal, and they're going to be taking these games serious. So this commentary should be pretty intelligent commentary. We should see a lot of really intelligent plays. I'm going to do the best I can to keep the eyes on the action at all times and make sure the characters and the players that are showing up to play get all the spotlight, but I'm really excited. This Megalo Squad Inhumans game is pretty hyped up. Yeah, this duo lane, man. Rama Apollo isn't a lane we have seen very often. We saw it a whole lot Season 2, Season 1, but that was the day of Apollo being able to clear a full wave, Rama having a lot easier time with ultimate, having a lot more damage in his kit. Those were days when auto-attacked hunters were so much more prominent, but now we're getting into the game number 1 in Humans versus Megalo Squad. I can't wait to introduce them. It's going to be great. Oh, we already got 16 viewers. Advertise the group. Get people to watch. I want like 35 viewers. This deserves a lot of views. These two teams deserve a whole lot of eyes on them because Megalo Squad has been giving Inhumans hell on Facebook about how they're going to get these Ws, and Inhumans have been clapping back just as hard. So not one person... Oh, well, Sidon is ranked 4 Odin, but I was going to say not one person on the side of Inhumans doesn't have the diamonds, so they're all very, very experienced on these characters. That solo lane matchup, Inimical, definitely going to be putting the pedal to the metal over there, so I'm really excited about how this is going to work out. I can't wait to see some hot Geb shields too. Geb shields are going to be great. Keep Dark Mantle alive as long as possible. Bail out Potty Racer when he needs it, and I expect Cdon to just make plays with that Odin, just run at people. But we'll see what Megalo squad puts together with that soul. All right. Slowly my AI is loading in, but I really do like the draft coming out of both these teams. Momentum is going to be interesting to watch in this early game as both teams have a lot of secure and a lot of things they need to get done. Gurns could get one pull to turn a fight. At the same time, God's Hitman could get a shield to turn a fight. But getting away from that, I think early in this game you want to see more safe starts coming out of Megalo squad. I think Inhumans has a bit more pressure early in the game. Mostly because you have an Odin running around in that jungle. Cdon on that Odin brings a lot of pressure and a lot of damage to it, so it wouldn't surprise me to see a lot more health pots, a lot more death tolls on the side of Megalo squad to make sure that they stay alive, I think. The Nemesis doesn't really need the blue stone. I think you could still buy that in the jungle, but you want to have as much regen happening as fast as possible, and even with that Bumba's mask, you could find her lacking, but anyways, starting to get... Once these players start moving, I'll start introducing them because it's always a little bit more fun right now. In the red trunks, in the jungle for Inhumans, it's Cdon 24 on the Odin in the mid lane. Potty Racer 87, a little slow to get out of the base on Thoth in the mid lane. God's Hitman going to be partnered with Dark Mantle. God's Hitman rocking Geb. Dark Mantle using that Rama, and in the solo lane, Inimical on his notorious Sun Wukong. In the mid lane for Megalo squad, we have Kingdom of Penguin in the as Soul. Desnor going to be partnered with him in the jungle as Nemesis on the duo lane. Craftsor and McGurns going to be defending that. Sylvanas and Apollo going to be their characters of choice. And in the solo lane, Budilla going to be using Ravana to try and counter out that Inimical. A little bit of poke came out of him early. I didn't really see how that exchange went, but those two saying hello to each other early. Leaf's going to be good to get a good chunk of health out of Kingdom of Penguin as well as Desnor. That's going to force a health pot, and already Inhumans has a slight pressure lead in this mid lane. Getting that health pot out of Kingdom of Penguin is going to keep him alive a little bit longer, but not really going to matter if you're losing that health pot. If Cdon gets that advantage and he keeps leaping on you, as he is right there, big chunks of damage coming out of Cdon. That clear, so much pressure already out of Inhumans. Desnor in a bit of trouble here. A lot of damage coming out of Kingdom of Penguin 2 and taking entirely too much damage, tanking that wave, and that's going to allow Cdon to grab this speed buff over here. Already Inhumans, Cdon on that Odin brings so much pressure. I want to see how Megalo squad is going to respond to this and make sure that they don't lose too much by gaining or losing all this pressure, but speed buff going to be stolen successfully by the Inhumans, and that's going to turn their eyes towards that blue buff. All the while, Inimical just trying to box out with Budilla over here. Over in the duo lane, however, Craftsor and his partner getting all the pressure they need over there. That's going to give oracles to Megalo squad. So a couple camps stolen by Inhumans is going to be answered with a neutral camp going the way of Megalo squad. Not a big lead either way, only about a 100 gold difference. Potty Racer staying safe, dashing back there. Potty Racer a little bit on his heels there, but Dawn's over in that right lane securing that blue buff for his team. I think Desnor and Kingdom of Penguin might be looking to make a play over in dual lane, but instead the mid camp's going to be their call. The more neutral camps they get going their way, the more their farm is going to increase. So good on Megalo squad to keep their homework on, making sure those mid camps go their way, while Inhumans goes and steals buffs, secures buffs, and does what they do so well. Such a close game. The gold almost dead even, so what they're doing is working to at least stave them off. Gurn's not quite going to get that pull. I don't see a kill coming from it, but they're both at level 4 right now in this duo lane. Those oracles showing what they really can do to a duo lane. The extra level on both teams is pretty great. A little bit of damage on the Cdon. Desnor going to get poked, but no kills yet already, hitting the 2-minute 30-second mark. A lot of damage going in the mid lane. Cdon a little lower on health. I don't think a bird bomb would be efficient here. You could definitely get turned on, but with that pressure going on with that wave, I think those Ellies are going to be looked on. Inimical was in a little bit of trouble over in this duo lane, or in this lane, excuse me. Budilla sitting absolutely no worse for wear. All that damage coming out of him already. Inimical on his heels on his signature Sun Wukong. I'd like to see him get a response from Cdon to try and blow this Ravana up. Maybe bait out an ultimate at least. Yeah, those Ellie's are up, but nobody's responded to them yet. Craftstore grabbing those left side camps to try and accelerate his farm as fast as he can to get ahead of Dark Mantle, but we'll see. Ellie's finally going to be spotted and started up by Inhumans. The big one was the only one left, but Sidon trying to make a call here. I think he saw that Nemesis only pinged it out, not really any kill potential, but he doesn't want anything to get stolen, so they don't even know that they're doing the Ellie's right now. They're just going to clear the mid wave and probably look to go grab a damage buff. That left jungle, all of these camps are spawning very, very soon.
Get wrecked.
Yeah. See a ping going on to Sidon. They spotted him coming out of the jungle, so grouped up as two. The damage buff, they're just going to secure their own as Inhumans, not going to try and make a play to take theirs. However, the enemy speed buff is coming up very soon. I'm not really sure if Desnor has the timer on that. It is coming up right now, and I think Desnor definitely just spotted that. You saw him turn his head towards it, probably making the call right now that he needs a rotation for it, and he's just going to go start it himself. But with Sidon speed buff coming up very soon as well, he's not going to try and risk it. Potty Racer saw him doing the speed buff, but all the rotations are pretty good from Megalo squad. You see Budilla coming over to make sure the speed buff goes into the hands of his junglers. So good communication and just good teamwork right now on Megalo squad. Only sitting at about a 100-ish gold lead is Megalo squad, 100 to 200, but that's not a very big deal. Net worth, however, Megalo squad has two really decently big characters. It's not a big lead, but you're sitting at 3,300 gold with Budilla on that Ravana, so his farm has been pretty efficient so far, and that's pretty good to see. But again, nothing significant has gone either way. There's no big kills, big plays, no expended ultimates, but we will see for sure. Not a whole lot. That mid lane, there was no kill potential. God's Hitman looked like he's probably wanting to loop around and make a play. I know he likes that rotation, but it wasn't really there. And with three members of Megalo squad in that mid lane defending, you don't really care to make that play. Craftstore make the smart decision to just give up that last Oracle Harpy with two members of the Inhumans. There is really no point to try and contest that. Good on him. Yeah, just such a close game. Both teams really want this win, and both teams, the communication is definitely heavy in comms right now. So I'm excited to see when this first blood play is going to come. Inimical, that solo lane matchup, that's Thunderwukong getting a little bit more boxed, but actually going to use his ultimate. He wants to get himself up to full health so he can stay in lane. Inimical in a bit of trouble here over in the dual lane, but the damage isn't quite there for Budilla. Has to slip away with a little bit of health. Inimical tried to make a spicy play, but didn't really work out in his favor. Not able to secure those mid camps, and the farm game's starting to tip a little bit towards Megalo squad's way. Still not by much, but a lead's a lead. If you can grab it and try and make it bigger, you can do whatever you want, but still such a close matchup right now. A little bit of fighting going on in the mid lane. Tried for the pull, but Potty Racer was just outside of range. Gurn's seeing if he can't make that first blood move. Desnor got pinged out, but there's nobody and nothing in this right jungle, so I'm not really sure what he's looking for. I think he's trying to see if there's a speed, maybe a blue buff up, but there's nothing's there for him. Inimical hovering around in that right jungle to see if he can't make a play and defend his territory, but there's nothing really to defend, so they're just wasting time over in this right jungle is Megalo squad. See all these mid waves starting to go under tower. The clear from Soul, Kingdom of Penguin using it very effectively with that Soul Stone. Able to clear waves pretty efficiently now with a few more levels, but Potty Racer on that though should start being able to instantly clear a wave as soon as he get an extra point into his first ability. Making a play on these Ellie's, Sidon and God's Hitman are both there to secure that for themselves. They're not really aware as Megalo squad, or they don't really prioritize it, but either way. Just a little bit of boxing. Nah, not a whole lot going on with the dual lane. Craftstore on Apollo. Apollo has better instant clear, which is an issue that Ramba has a lot of times. Without those Astral Arrows online, at least 3 of them anyways, you're going to be having a lot of trouble. But a lot of fighting going on in this right side jungle. God's Hitman getting the ult out on 2-3, and Inimical trying to make the play for the first blood. Desnor is going to be the one that's lowest on health, but no first blood coming quite yet. There's not really enough room for a counter engage from Megalo squad unless Sidon or somebody decides to make a mistake, but still need to be careful with all this damage coming out. The ultimate going on to Sidon. This could be the first blood play, and it will. Kingdom of Penguin picking that one up, but Inimical going to get pulled as well, and it looks like he might be falling here as well. Gurren's setting that one up beautifully, but Inimical has that bird form to bail himself out of that issue. However, coming around the corner nice and quick, Gurren's seeing if he can't maybe get a root, but not going to find it. First blood going to Megalo squad. Dark Mantle in a lot of trouble, almost dying. Craftsword doing a great job at poking him out as well. Mantle actually used the ultimate there. I think he was very afraid that Craftsword was going to try and dower dive for a kill, but nothing too bad so far. That first blood play unfortunate, but still the game is very close, and you only lost that one kill, and that's usually how a first blood play needs to play out, is after you lose your character, after you lose your teammate, you immediately call for the back off and try and get out of the fight, unless you know you can get it back in your favor, but still a great play. Sidon just hovering around at this jungle. Not really a whole lot of kill potential over there against Budilla, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, they're grouped up as 3. Megalo squad securing camps right now. A little bit of recap on that. The ultimate from the Nemesis was held for so long trying to look for the correct target, and the target was Sidon. And Sidon, he had already leapt in right after, or he had already leapt in, so... Sidon had already leapt in, so it was pretty easy to make that decision to ult on him and focus on him, and that was a decently easy call to make for Megalo squad. Still, I like the Inhumans idea to try and dive in and force the first blood their way, but it didn't quite go their way. Still such a close game, though. Only down by about 1,800, or excuse me, around 800-ish, 900-ish gold, but not a whole lot. I do expect to see Desnor camping Sidon a little bit more, though, knowing that ultimate and the potential that it brings is a whole lot. Sidon needs to be very careful about how he utilizes his shield, as well as the rest of his kit, to make sure that the Nemesis ultimate gets nullified as much as possible, and you can try and put them at a disadvantage for using too many abilities. Able to grab this mid lane. The mid lane wave here. Desnor looking over into the right jungle. A little bit of contention going on. The cage came out of Sidon. Didn't quite see all of what went on there, but Budilla looking absolutely no worse for wear. Desnor, Kingdom of Penguin, hovering around the right jungle. They're grouping up right now as a little bit of a group up anyways. You have God's Hitman hovering around in that jungle, and Inimical in a bit of trouble here. The ultimate coming out of him. Budilla is the target, and Budilla... all the damage coming out of Kingdom of Penguins, though. Budilla, Inimical actually, excuse me, it was only a decoy, but God's Hitman able to get the ult and peel off for his team. Not good for Inhumans. They almost lost that engagement, and Budilla didn't even get too low on health. Craftsword, I didn't see it over in the dueling, was able to solo out Dark Mantle. Good on him with that damage buff to get that kill onto him, so... slight advantages going the way of Megalo squad, but he's actually going to be ulting, and I think his eyes are on Sidon. Sidon using that shield. He actually might be looking for Potty Racer, and he's going to grab it. Budilla able to get himself a kill. A big team fight breaking out over this right lane. A pull out of him. Kingdom of Penguin will pick up God's Hitman, and Inimical going to fall as well. That's a deicide. Already a big win for Megalo squad. I think this Portal Demon going to be the call here. Potentially a Fire Giant, but a clean wipe from Megalo squad is going to put the Inhumans at a big disadvantage right now. The Portal Demon is going to be the call. Can we talk about Gurns in these pulls right now? He's hitting not all the pulls, but the pulls that he needs to hit are there for him. Pulling God's Hitman out of a tower. Sidon getting picked off under the tower. Kingdom of Penguin on this soul has been so clean with the follow-up damage. I really am curious to see how Inhumans are going to be responding to this, but Megalo squad looking so strong right now. Yeah, I really am curious to see how Inhumans are going to be responding to this. Such a strong unit, and they are undefeated. 8-0 is the Inhumans, so I really hope to see their maturity and their experience come out. But after not playing with Potty Racer for so long, I mean, trying to get back into a rhythm anyways, but still this unit back together. I hope to see them resurge towards the mid to late game, but sitting at a 3,000 gold deficit. That's losing 6 members of your team so far. Not a huge deal, but the pressure isn't yours, and you need to start cleaning it up and trying to find more picks. I'm not sure exactly what is going on in Inhumans' heads, but we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty quiet around the map right now, securing buffs and keeping the farm game prioritized. Not a bad decision by Megalo squad, sitting at a big lead. You just want to keep the lead and keep the farm game going. Not too aggressive is either team, but still. Grouped up as 3 as Megalo squad. Sidon all by himself in that right jungle in a little bit of trouble. Was able to clear out the ward. The root from Gurn's going to be good, but a big bird bomb coming out of Sidon. Actually going to be completely nullified. No worries there out of Megalo squad. Get to the right character here. There we go. But yeah, this Gurn's, I think, with the Sylvanas has been a pretty decently big effect. I mean, those poles set up a couple of kills for them already, and it enabled them to get a deicide. So, I mean, good play so far. Also, that craft store rotation, that ultimate, which started that fight altogether, able to pick up Potty, which meant 2 members were already down because he had just soloed Darkmail. So, good stuff from Megalo squad. Yeah, just farming around the map. Nothing really for Megalo squad to do. Inhumans playing pretty decently safe, but the Gold Fury actually going to be started up. I think God's Hitman is right on their trail, though. Yeah, he's there responding to that, and you have Potty Racer right there. However, Megalo squad able to just burn that down so fast, and the first Gold Fury of the game going their way as well. This gold difference going to start growing. Looking at the graphs already, sure, the gold difference is 4,300, but experience-wise, sitting at 8,000, they're farming really, really well, and those kills are definitely starting to get them ahead in levels. A 2-level difference in duo, 0-level difference in mid lane, however. Between the supports, you have God's Hitman at 10, just now hitting 10, and you have Gurn sitting at 12 already, so well over a 2-level lead. The farm game has been good from both teams, with that Gold Fury just going to continuously widen that gap. Bird Bomb coming out of Seed, Don Kingdom of Penguin only taking some poke right there, but not a big deal. No kill potential there. So, Inhumans on their heels right now. Kingdom of Penguin took a ton of poke there. I didn't quite see where I didn't quite see it from his perspective, but Dark Mantle did try to get that ultimate off to kill him, but off the mark it was. Yeah, 6-0. Megalo squad playing really, really clean right now. 4,500 gold in the lead. So how Inhumans are going to respond, I'm not sure. It's probably going to start with Dark Mantle not dying anymore, and he needs to be careful about his engagements over in that dual lane. However, that rotation out of Craftsword, there was really nothing Dark can do about that. Whenever Craftsword has that ultimate up, they can definitely make a play anywhere on that map. That global potential is there always. So still, so much that Megalo squad can do. Yeah, this tier 1 tower, a lot of pressure onto it. Just smacking each other over in the right lane. I didn't realize how far down Sidon was, but he's sitting at level 12. Even if he is only a level down from his opposing jungler, there are other characters in Megalo squad that are just way out leveling him. Craftsource sitting at level 17 on this Apollo. He's farming like a monster right now. The next best level is his opposition in Dark Mantle, level 15, but still, that's such a big lead on his end. Inimical being forced to use his ultimate over in this solo lane. Budilla doing whatever he wants right now. That tower getting mowed down by him, however, discouraged from going all the way. Still not. Yeah, pinging it over in that right jungle. Only a little bit of fighting going on, but they're going to back off. Inhumans trying to play pretty smart and be a little bit more safe, but still. Craftsword able to grab Dark Mantle over in that dual lane. He's on a killing spree, and just like last time, after killing Mantle, opens him up to easily come around. Gurn's able to pick up Potty Racer, but I think Craftsword actually going to go back to lane. That tower going to be his target, so that ultimate going on an inimical, a couple more auto attacks should do it. Cedon trying to bail out his partner, however, not gonna find the kill. Cedon able to get the first kill for his team, and Inimical happy that his jungler was there to bail him out. Unfortunately, that tower looks like it's going to go down anyways. Inimical in a bit of, or excuse me, Cedon in a bit of trouble here, but the shield's going to come through. Budilla trying to mow him down, but not going to be able to quite get that done. Gurrence has been phenomenal on the Sylvanas so far. The pulls have been there, and all the damage from Megalo squad has been instantly responded, so it's pretty just a good game overall by Megalo squad. They're playing super clean. 3 members of Inhumans there, but they're so afraid of Budilla. I think Budilla could definitely have a lot of room to make a play here. Gotta be careful if you're Inhumans. He is a really big character, but there's 4 members of Inhumans in that right jungler right now to get him to back off, and he will. So even with that buff being taken, not a big deal. Not a huge deal. At least nobody died, but curious, man. Yeah, Inhumans sitting at a pretty big deficit, over 8,000 gold right now. I'm really hoping that Inhumans start cleaning up and try to get a couple more picks, but the tower game going really out of their favor right now, and Megalo squad is doing so good. Portal Demon going to be made, Portal Demon Call going to be made by Megalo squad, and not one member of Inhumans is aware of what is going on. Budilla being a beautiful distraction up in that right jungle. They definitely know that there were characters at that Portal Demon, so they got to be careful of what could be coming to them very soon, and a disengage called from Inhumans. Good call. Unfortunately, this dual lane matchup did not go the way of Dark Mantle. 3-0-3 is the opposing Apollo, and he's really big. Already has that Deathbringer and another tier of crit online. Gold Fury going to be started up by Megalo squad to try and continuously widen this gold lead that they have right now, and the Gold Fury going to go down. Megalo squad burning that down. It's 11,000, closer to 10,000 gold lead for Megalo squad, but Inhumans on their heels right now, potentially facing their first loss in this league, but maybe the second game will come through and surprise us. I really want Inhumans to show how strong they can really be. Budilla just going straight in for the ultimate, not able to find anybody with it, but big damage coming on in the mid lane. Kingdom of Pain doing the best he can on that soul to make something happen. Cedon, that bracer of Undoing going to be huge for him, get almost all of his health pulled back. Inimical, however, in a bit, actually in no trouble. That was just a decoy because I'm an idiot. However, so much damage out of Megalo squad is going to continuously discourage Inhumans from trying to go for an all-in call. Nobody dead so far, but still this engagement overall not going into the hands of Inhumans. That tower got a good chunk off, and that sustain out of Megalo squad is going to start factoring here. The heal out of Emgirds with that Sylvanas is going to be pretty big. Cedon in a bit of trouble here. The damage not going to come through for Megalo squad to pick him up. However, that tier 2 tower is going to fall, and that's going to leave one lonely tower in that right lane for Megalo squad to target next. However, no kills, no deaths, and an extra check of gold going into their pockets is going to further their lead, but Megalo squad looking dominant in this first game. And wards place so far, Megalo squad, Gurrence the brunt of the wards placed, but Inhumans also has plenty of wards in their own rights this place as well. So the vision by both teams is very prominent. However, looking at sitting on top of the charts with that play damage level right behind him is Inimical, and in those team fights he's been doing very well. However, not quite enough to turn them his way. Inhumans, even with this game just 8-1. Such a dominant showing by Megalo squad. The farm game has been absolutely ridiculous for them. Curious to see what I'm not sure what Inhumans honestly can do at this point to try and get anything to go their way. They're just so far down across the board. I think game 2 is where they're going to try and make their try and make their comeback. Potentially going to see a Nemesis ban, but we won't know until we see it. I think the Fire Giant being looked at by Megalo squad to try and get another objective go their way, but I really think that right tower needs to get sieged pretty soon to just have dominance over the entire map and try and group up and win team fights with all that gold in your pocket. Yeah, Budilla just doing a little bit of damage to Inimical, not a whole lot, but Inhumans all grouped up and playing super smart and responding to everything as well as they can. I don't think Inhumans has much of a shot right now to try and get this game back in their hands, but they could. These are two very talented teams, and if anybody's going to be able to come back from this deficit and make it work, it's definitely the Inhumans squad. But Fire Giant going to be started. My AI is being really slow right now, but Fire Giant going to be the call for Megalo squad. Inhumans are there, but I think the damage out of Megalo is going to be a bit too much. Yeah, Megalo squad able to confirm that Fire Giant seed on that Bracer of Undoing. Going to be huge. Potty Racer erasing Gurns. However, in a lot of trouble is Potty Racer. Craftsor pretty worse for wear as well. Sidon trying to mow him down over in that right lane. Going to be discouraged. Apollo doing entirely too much damage for him to safely make a play on that. A couple of pings going on to Sidon right now, but Inimical's there to bail him out of any trouble were to occur. It's crazy how dominant Megalo squad has been this game. The farm game has been coming through so well for them, and that first blood play just set everything and made everything fall apart for the Inhumans. It's unfortunate that this Odin pickup wasn't any more prominent than it was, but still, we've seen a lot of great plays, and at only 8-2, you know the combat isn't necessarily what Inhumans are doing so bad at. It's just overall map control slipping out of their hands early because of the very smart rotations coming out of Megalo squad early, but for sure, this game isn't over yet. However, with the Fire Giant buff on all, at least 4 of the characters of Megalo Squad, they're poised to make a good run at a couple of Phoenixes, and a Titan is definitely in their sights very soon. Portal Demon going to be called by Megalo Squad just to keep everything out of the hands of Inhumans as possible. That is going to be finished, and everybody going back to the base on the side of Megalo Squad. Final items probably coming through for them. The Rage and Deathbringer both finished by Craftsor on that Apollo, and tier 2 of what is probably going to be a Wind Demon as well, going for a triple crit build instead of a more often seen Fatalis build, or even a build that involves a more penetration, but we will see. This right tower going to be started by Megalo squad and starting to get burned down. Inimical in that backline to try and make a difference. However, not going to find it. The Stellar Burst going to find 2 M-Gurns with a big knock up. A lot of setup and another pull onto Inimical. The ultimate coming out of Desnor going to be true. However, no kills coming out of it so far. The Cataclysm as well as that Odin Cage coming through. However, the first to fall is Dark Mantle. Big damage coming out of Potty Racer. Megalo squad still needs to be careful about what potentially could go wrong for them. However, Inimical falling gives them that much more of an advantage, and this Phoenix going to be targeted. Frenzy coming through, going to mow down this Phoenix. Potty Racer also falling, and it's only a couple of tanks on the side of Inhumans still standing. Phoenix number 2 on the way. Inimical, or excuse me, Sidon running right into 5 people. The Leap going to bail him out of that situation. However, the Phoenix still going to get taken, and Phoenix number 3 going to be started up by Megalo squad, and I don't think there's anything that Inhumans are going to be able to do about this. Able to do at this point. Just a little bit of damage coming out of Sidon to try and discourage it, but not going to work out in his favor. Another really clutch Bracer coming through. However, Titan being started. Megalo squad poised to take game number 1. Inhumans have been upset. We'll be back very soon for, excuse me, I have to wait for the stats to come up, but Inhumans 8-0 falling to 8-1 in this game. Hopefully going to see him go to 10-1, but we could also, Megalo squad, see them get to 2-0 and bring this set to a pretty crushing halt for Inhumans, but still, that was just game number 1, regardless of how dominant it was. Inhumans has plenty of room to get this back into their hands if they need it to happen. So once we get to the damage numbers and such, I'll end stream, but Craftsor on Apollo is pretty dominant. Dark Mantle just struggled so hard in that lane, and I know what I know what it can be like to go up against an Apollo that knows everything they're doing, and the rotations from that Apollo. Craftsor, they were beautifully done, and they were pretty deadly for Inhumans. We'll look at the damage numbers here. Yeah, 19,000 and 18,000 respectively for the jungler and the solo laner for Megalo squad. Nothing prominent. However, Potty Racer did plenty of damage. We saw some good ultimates out of him. I don't think the Filth was at all the problem. However, I do think the Odin pickup won't be looked at for Inhumans. Just absolutely beaten and caught out. That Nemesis pick soloed him out a couple of times as well, even though the Bracer run doing did bail him out of a couple situations. But we'll be right back.